Peace, love, and light, family. Respect to the ancestors. For man, Minister X, get your hand on my pocket. Showing love and respect to the family. It's a live video. I know my hair's a little off right here. Sided out. But I wanted to make a big crash to kind of come back into the nationalistic movement, the Black Liberation Movement, and to kind of make it a big splash to support our heralded brother, our nationalist brother, our freedom fighting brother, Dr. Umar Johnson. And I have a history of supporting quote unquote controversial or misunderstood entities in our community, mostly athletes. 20-year plus fan of Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson, Latrell Sprewell, anybody who gone against the grain and maybe did some things that most of our folks wouldn't openly co-sign. I appreciated their courage and their talent and their wherewithal to stick to itiveness, to go against the grain regardless of what others may have said. And so I continue that with some would say our mercurial brother, Dr. Umar Johnson. Make no mistake, he has said several times that the attacks on him should be responded by his followers, people who believe in his word, people who say that they love him and appreciate what he's done. He's absolutely right. And other individuals who are in this movement, in this struggle for freedom and liberation, are very aggressive followers who quickly lambaste anybody who tries to besmirch their name, except Dr. Umar's followers or believers or supporters. So I'm submitting this video 10 minutes, it may be less than 10 minutes, but I'm looking at the live time, to give a speech at his second annual festival at the Marcus Garvey, French Office Marcus Garvey building in school that he's trying to complete painstakingly by himself. And shout out to those inner circle people that is assisting him. It's best that we don't know who you are, because the attackers get paid very well to attack. Make no mistake, there's no one really doing this out of a support, quote unquote, of the black community, because they say they're trying to get the swindlers of the community, but haven't entered a church, a black super church anywhere in the United States. They say they're trying to help the black community, but they don't go to any common council meetings. They've not said anything negative about their local mayor. They've never written a letter to the police chief or a detective. They don't do anything about mass incarceration. But we don't have to deal with the federal and global problems of the black community, just the local stuff. Your own home, across the street, the school system locally in your home. You don't deal with any of that. But somehow, you have 125 videos on Dr. Umar Johnson. You dig through his life. You look through paperwork. You get on the internet. You name names. You find account numbers. All this stuff would be awesome if you would investigate the local mafia in the area. Hell, even the young black gangs, to use this information to politicize and flip them. But no, you waste all your time on defaming, besmirching the good name of Dr. Umar Johnson. Why? Because as a black Pan-Africanist, staunch Garveyite, a supporter of Marcus Garvey, probably his greatest follower, he holds the collective accountable to the teachings and infrastructure of Marcus Garvey. And so as he goes down the rules of comporting yourself as a black person, whether it be educationally, whether it be economically, whether it be socially, you don't like those rules. You don't like the fact that he says, leave the white women alone. You want your white woman. You want your red woman. You want your yellow woman. You want any woman you want except the black woman. So it hits a gut punch in your stomach because you hate yourself when you look in the mirror. And he challenges that. He tells you why you hate yourself. But because you love the white man and his woman so much, you can't take it. So you project your anger on Dr. Umar Johnson. He tells you to go to black businesses and support black businesses. He tells you you're the solution to the problem. And that black man and or black woman, you have to exert more of yourself if you want an ultimate solution. You have to separate from these entities. You have to separate from these devils. He doesn't use these words, but I do. The white international power structure. The Western international power structure. For it to come down, it takes a collective unity globally of African peoples. And granted, we are very tribalistic people. You talk to 20 different black people, you got 20 different black tribes, whether it be a church or a religion or a sect or a street corner or a sport. We're very separated. But they come together as one, as a collective group of people to maintain the ultimate goal. But you don't want to do that. There's no money in it. You think that if we get total and complete freedom, you'll be useless. The bag that you get from being a coon will cease to exist. You have to do some real work. You have to put elbow grease into building something with your own hands. No more talking, no more swearing, no more cursing, no more hiding behind the camera. Yeah, we have to shovel some feces, huh? Peg some roles, because we're into nation building. And the brother preaches nation building. And because our people are so used to letting white folks handle all our affairs, that all we do is complain to them, and ultimately, if we complain loud enough, maybe they'll fix the issue that we're discussing. Then they'll give us a halfway solution that keeps us quiet for another couple of years. We take that, and then we come back 2 years later. Hey, Mr. White Man, I'm hungry. We'll take this loaf of bread. Thank you, white man, so much. Thank you. Thank you. But after you're done with the loaf of bread, you come back. You don't want to learn the ingredients to painstakingly make the bread for yourself. You allow him to do it. And so you'll always be servants. Dr. Johnson speaks against the servitude of black peoples to the global white infrastructure, the global white man. Hey, make our universities for us so we will learn whatever it is that you want us to learn. You don't want to learn your history. You don't want to admit who you are. You want to be everything but black. And when he challenges that, you get mad. You get upset. You get perturbed. I think I'm going to go to 15. I think I'm going to go to 15 in 9 minutes. So when he goes on The Breakfast Club, when he goes on Vlad TV, when you see him on Hidden Colors, the new black media, the cool media I call it, has to validate itself by having him come on regularly to talk about quote unquote safe topics. Then they have to have 2 or 3 different people with different watered down opinions to go against his very strong black, no sugar, no cream truth. Why? Because we're being financed by white people. And the so-called black media isn't. I'm not talking about the grassroots media. I'm talking about the cool media. Because we are not financed by black dollars. We're ultimately financed by whites and other non-black entities. We have to walk that road. We gotta toe that line. Tip your toe into the water. Can't all the way go in. So when you have a brother breathing life into your spirit, you're drinking fresh water. You're eating fruits and vegetables without preservatives. When I went to first see Brother Dr. Umar, it was Power Talk in D.C. I think the last one, or second to last one. Brother Dick Gregory was there. He had pulled him aside and some things that occurred. People came down there to see Dr. Johnson. Me and my wife, pregnant with our first child, we got 4, came down to see Dr. Johnson, check on Get Your Hand in My Pocket Facebook. We recorded some of it. I had a horrible Android, so the quality isn't good, but the memory's still there. I got to meet all these black nationalist freedom fighters, all these brothers and sisters who yearn for our people to be free. Come to see the son of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. And unfortunately, Baba Dick Gregory, because you can't tell Baba Dick Gregory to stop anything, God rest his soul, but he went over his time and it affected our brother's time. So he had about 20 minutes and he tore it down in 20 minutes. In the 20 minutes he tore it down. And you can feel the life of the church just rise. Imagine if the religious institutions that serve black people had a preacher who spoke truth and it had solutions thereafter. Had groups to tackle the things that are destroying our country, not only our country, but the town. The churches don't have to deal with the global problem of African people. You can deal with just the 3 blocks surrounding you. And the brother have said that. Say, hey, I'm not against religion in and of itself. What actions are you taking to serve the people you are constantly taking money from? Why is the town, the black entity around you, dying while your church gets built up? Why are the young folks leaving the church? Why? Dr. Johnson says you have nothing for them. The pastor is the pastor for his whole life. So a young man tries to come up in the congregation, there's nothing for him to do. He can only sit and watch the pastor preach for the next 25, 30 years. We say, I'm going to trek off on my own. We're still stuck in a religious paradigm and the structure and the creation of it from 100 years ago. We're in 2022. Things have changed. Look into that change. Dr. Johnson's teachings is old school, but it's the future. In all his interviews, he gives a different solution. I've never seen that in my life. What are the solutions, Dr. Johnson? And he just rails them out. This is what you can do. This is where you can go. This is what can happen. All right, if this is too much global revolutionary freedom, okay, well, how about this? Let's write in campaigns to the government. Let's have people protest outside the governor's house. Get the news involved. Demand some tangible things for your people in the town that everybody can get around. Let's look at the public education system. Let's look at the curriculum. What things can be changed and updated? If you're going to do CRT, right, who's going to teach it? We want to choose the particular people who are going to talk about the race problem in America. That's what it's about. And it has to be someone who's black, and it has to be someone who is chosen by the people. Simple things. Dr. Johnson gives those solutions every time you talk to him. The man's line is open. You can text him and call him. If you're in trouble, you're ready to jump off the building. He has talked people off the ledge. He has given women advice so that they can have a better relationships with their spouses. He has saved thousands of black boys from the poisons of the learning disability drugs that they say, hey, you have to take these so that you can learn better. Black boys turn into zombies. Black boys get sterile. Black boys get feminized with the chemicals that is being put into them. And he saves our young boys from it. And nobody gives him respect. Those who have large platforms have shunned him. Don't shout him out. Don't say salute to him. Don't wage an economic campaign to get his school open. Don't recognize the attack against him. You don't get attacked when you're a failure. You don't get attacked when you're talking about Deep Space 12. You get attacked when you're trying to deal with the problems of our people right goddamn now. So I support Brother Dr. Umar Johnson. I'm here to let everybody know. Put my face on the line. FBI, you already know who I am. I've done my work. And when this school gets open, I'm solidifying a space for my son who is 1 year old. And when he's old enough, he'll be attending this school. I appreciate y'all for listening. Brother Dr. Johnson, I want to thank you. Everybody's listening. I'm out. Peace.